experience on where do we go from here as supply managers. When do we stop? Is it going to expand with all the challenges that we have with the earth getting smaller? Where are we and how are we going to survive if we ever going to survive? In the next 5 years, in the next 10 years. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Guillermo H.A. Santos, the President of Center for International Studies.
Good afternoon, everybody. I have a long name, but they call me Gil for short. Where I came from 80 years ago, they called me Guillermo. When I studied and dropped out of FEU, they called me Emo. And when I worked for the Associated Press, they could, the Americans are stupid. Are there any Americans here? I wish there were, because I was saying, the Americans were so stupid, they couldn't spell Guillermo, and they couldn't pronounce it. It would have been Guillermo. So my editors in New York said, from here on, you're going to be named Gil Santos. That stopped, and I couldn't change it. However, for my documents, marriage, license, and all that, it had to be Guillermo H.A. Santos. Anyway, let me congratulate the PISM for holding this very timely conference. Timely because all the major conferences that will affect your future in a time frame of 5, 10, 15, and up to 50 years were started already. Early April, we had the Asian Development Bank conference, annual conference. And I attended it, and it gave me an insight of what is going to be like in the field of financing. Before that, we have had in our own center a review of renewable energy. Before that, we had our own assessment of what the Philippine economy is going to be in the wake of the world's #1 population. Remember, we are now 7 billion. And in 2050, we are going to be nearly 10 billion people. Therefore, in the supply side, supply chain side, we were looking at how are we going to feed our people. Next year, the Filipinos are going to be in excess of 100 million people. In 2050, we're going to be almost 201 million people. Questions? We're going to have so many mouths to feed. Medical science is advancing. Technological advances are here. I feel naked without my cell phone, don't you? Therefore, the transmission of truth, mistruth, half-truth, and outright lies can be had in real time, whether you are in San Francisco, in New York, in Berlin, in Tokyo, or in Manila. It doesn't matter. However, you must determine where your future is going to be. And let me digress a little bit on what I'm going to say. let me digress a little bit by telling you what we do in the Center for Philippine Futuristic Studies. Because to many people, this seems like, do you peek into crystal balls? Do you read tarot cards? Do you go to the manghuhula, and ask for what your future is going to be? And they tell you, your love life is going to be exciting tonight, even if you're all alone. Huh? Hello? Or you're going to travel, even if you're going to jail, depending on what you're going to do. Now, this is what we do. It is composed of individual members whose discipline, professional disciplines, and education preparations vary. Some of the people we have had. Incidentally, the Forerunner was established in 1981, founded by Enriquito Sobel, Mariano Ke, Cesar Benaventura, Jimmy Yong Pin, the brother of Bob Yong Pin, Tong Mayumo, Al Yuchenko, and many others. We had institutional members, Shell Oil. At that time, there was the Stanvac. At that time, there was also United Laboratories, Ayala and Company, Procter & Gamble, and 40 other institutional members, including the University of the Philippines. But in 1997, when the Asian financial crisis hit everyone, they all receded, went back to the caves and said, sorry, we can't get on with your yearly membership, and therefore they were going to hold everything in advance. They all went into hibernation, trying to recover. In 2007, we got back into action. We sprung back with a $5 million grant from Coca-Cola. I didn't work too hard for that because they thought, yes, the time has come to revive it. And we now have the institutional members, Development Academy of the Philippines, Lyceum of the Philippines, Ayala and Company, and we are members of the foundations of the Philippines. We have networked with the World Futuristics Federation based in Washington, the Futurides of France, the Institute of Advanced Studies of Singapore, and Malaysia. But we don't crow about it too much. We don't go into praise releases, although I come from that industry, the news industry. Anyway, what we do is we look at all what is going to affect the future by understanding what happened to us in the past and making sure we get all the accurate information of the present. Then we project, if the trend is going to be so, we come out with projections, at least 5 of them. If scenario number 1 is going to continue all the way up through a timeline of 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 50 years, this is what's going to happen, and so forth. And after you've laid down those options, you now pick the best of what you are supposed to do to be able to influence the future by acting now. Because you can prevent catastrophes or catastrophes, coming to you if you know what it is. An oversimplification is this. I look out of the window, I saw there are dark clouds. And now they're about 10 kilometers away as far as I can see. You also see the haze. Therefore, rain is coming this way. What do I do? My future is the immediate future, the next 2-3 hours. What do? I either go out But I'm going to take my raincoat, I'll take my umbrella. Those are your options. And you decide to do what is best for you. You translate that in terms of world developments, regional and national, provincial and local developments, then you can have futurism as part of your discipline. This is our advocacy. This is our ideology. Because if you don't want what is coming to you, you can act now by and influence that future. You don't want in the next presidential elections to have somebody who did not declare any sal N. Therefore, you must now scan the horizon and find out who you're not voting for. So that after 2016, whoever is the winner is your ideal candidate who is going to do better for you and the country. That is futurism. So, unless you throw tomatoes and coffee cups at me now, I'm going to go into what I will talk about. Fortunately for me, the previous speakers gave you an insight of what futurism is all about without them telling you it is futurism. So let me give you the givens. All right. The givens would be environmental rehabilitation plus biodiversity equals ideal ecological balance or sustainable development and growth. That affects your supply chain business. Number two, the application of appropriate and affordable